Perfect. Well, hello everyone. Welcome. My name is Daniel Sinnig, and I am greeting you today out of our beautiful headquarters here in Montreal, in Canada. It's a cold winter day here in Montreal. We had a bit of a snowstorm yesterday. Nothing too crazy, but it's all nice and white outside. In any case, today I will be talking about the secret weapon that I am using for my day trading all the time now. It helps me spotting key setups, which I believe have a high probability of succeeding or of resulting into a winning trade. And, you know, I'm trying to make this session today as interactive as possible. We're going to do a lot of charting. We're going to look at a lot of symbols. And maybe if the timing is right and we find an interesting setup, we even might do some live trading today. So super exciting. Please be comfortably seated, just like me, and let's get into it. And before I'm actually going to show you the charts, let me tell you that what you will see today, what I will showcase today, is the only indicator which is always on my charts or on our charts here in our trading room. We've built a lot of indicators in the past, and some of them are a bit niche. Some of them are applicable under certain market conditions. Oh my God! But this indicator, which I'm going to show you today, is the only one which is always on our chart, no matter what. So please stay tuned for this indicator. And I can also say that this indicator has turned my trading and it has turned our trading around. All right, so this is coming up today in this presentation. Now, before we get into it, I think it is polite to also introduce myself properly. So my name is Daniel Sinnig, as you can see here on the right-hand side. And I am with TradingIndicators.com. And we have been in business for almost 10 years now. And over the tenure of these 10 years, we've built over 1,000 trading indicators, fully automated strategies, trading tools, trading scanners for clients all over the world. But what perhaps is interesting is that early in my career, this was not my career trajectory at all. Back then, my plan always was to become a professor in software engineering. So I went through all the levels. I did my master's, my PhD, I did a postdoc. I started teaching in and around Montreal. But you know what? I was always also fascinated by the world of finance, by the market, and by trading. So I started trading on the side. And as you start off, and perhaps some of you have shared the same experience, as you start off, you tend to make all kinds of mistakes. And so did I. So I over traded. I took too much risk. I revenge traded. I traded when market conditions were simply not right. And after donating quite a bit of money to the markets, I came to the hard realization, oh boy, trading is not as straightforward as I thought, and I need help. And for me, needing help meant I need better tools which help me make better trading decisions. So I rolled up my sleeves and I started coding. And the very first tools or trading tools which I have written were exclusively meant for my own purpose. But once I realized, hey, these tools actually work. These tools they help me make better trading decisions. I then thought, perhaps others will benefit from these tools as well. So this is really how the story behind trading indicators started. All right, so but enough about myself. But a quick reminder that trading does contain substantial risk and therefore only use risk capital, which is money that you can actually afford to lose. When it comes to backtest performance or hypothetical performance, keep in mind that this is not necessarily indicative of future performance, and any trade ideas and setups shared in this webinar should not be construed as trade advice. These are for educational purposes only. All right, so with this out of the way, let's not lose any more time. Let's start with our market review. So with this, I'm going to open up my TradingView chart. And our indicators work beautifully on TradingView, but also on many other platforms. Okay, so let's start with something global. Let's start with the SPY. Lots of things have happened with the S&P 500 index. or in this case, the ETF that tracks the index. So what can we see here? Of course, lots of things have happened on Monday, a big drop, but let's put this into context. What has really happened? So if I zoom out a little bit, I mean, it doesn't take a PhD in finance to see what's going on here. The SPY or the S&P 500s, they have been in a very strong and long-lasting uptrend. You can see it here. At least for 1 year or even more, we have been consistently making higher highs and higher lows. You can see it throughout here. All right, so this is happening in the longer term perspective. But what has really happened on Monday when everything dropped down and people panicked almost? Well, let's see what actually happened from a technical point of view. Well, if I zoom in a little bit, what can we see here? Where did we end up on Friday? And this bar here is our Friday bar. Well, it seems to be directly in this green zone. You can see this here. And guess what this green zone is? You can see it here on this label. It's a resistance zone. And what does a resistance zone do? Well, it may prevent price from moving further up, and instead, price may bounce off from this level towards the middle, in between resistance and support. And exactly this, regardless of all the fundamental news and DeepSeek and whatever happened, exactly this has happened. This was simply a correction. In fact, a fairly minor correction towards the middle, in between resistance and support. So completely normal. This happens in every healthy uptrend. You can see it here throughout. Correction, 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 and so forth. So this is no different from what we've seen before. And for once, this was not even a deep correction. We merely made it to the middle line here, which is one of our, or the upper line actually here, which is one of our means or averages of one of our indicators. Yeah, simply a correction. And since then, look at this. The market rebounded nicely once again towards the upper end of this trend channel, once again towards this resistance level. So completely normal here as far as the SPY is concerned. But let's move on. What about the QQQs? The NASDAQ 100 ETF. And by the way, guys, if you have any questions, please don't hold back. Put your questions into the Q&A box or into the chat window of your Zoom tool. All right, so what has happened here? And let me quickly hide this indicator and let's just focus on these levels here. Okay, so what has happened in the QQQs? And let's go back a little bit in time. Let's go back to this. You see this little label, or this is an icon here on the chart, which is a zone break icon. So on November 25th, the QQQs have broken above the resistance level. And since then, they moved up quite a bit, even to all-time highs on December 16. But then things went downwards a little bit. We corrected, or the market corrected downwards, retraced downwards back to this level over which it broke on November 25th. And what is this? Well, resistance has been broken. And when resistance breaks, and you probably have heard this before, it becomes support. So resistance can become support, or conversely, support can become resistance. And exactly this happened with the QQQs. So now resistance was acting as support, driving prices higher up, once again towards this resistance level on top here. And then what happened? Well, we bounced off this resistance level back towards the middle, in between resistance and support. So once again, from a technical point of view, everything is business as usual. This was just yet another correction within an otherwise strong uptrend in the QQQs. And not very surprisingly, you can see it here after this correction, after this bounce off this resistance level, prices are driving up higher once again. All right, so that was that, but let's look at the Russell, IWM. And we're going to look at some smaller time frames as well. So these are all daily charts. Okay, so IWM, where are we here? All right, so let's wait for my indicator to load. This sometimes takes a second. All right, so what did we see here? Well, when was it? On November 25th. Once again, it was a very bullish day across the markets. Prices went all the way up here. And do you see this little green line? Which started way earlier. I don't even want to scroll that far back. Yeah, this is a resistance level. And guess what happened? prices bounced off this resistance level all the way down to support here. And then from this support level, prices bounce off once again to this intermediate resistance level. You can see it here. And what do we see now? In recent price action, well, once again, we seem to bounce off this level towards the downside. And one key takeaway, hopefully, that you can take from all this is that these levels drawn on the price chart, these are very important because price is obviously reacting to these levels. And oftentimes, price is reacting to these levels in a very predictable way. And we as traders, we can take advantage of this fact. All right, so please keep this in mind. All right, let's move on real quick. Just one more setup. Let's go to oil. I'm going to use the United States Oil Fund ETF for this one. All right, so what has happened in oil? Oil, at least it seems so, has been sideways for forever almost. Yeah, you can see here the sideways channel. Yeah, has been going on for a long, long time, just all bouncing off resistance and support over and over and over again. And guess what happened in recent price action? Well, once again, the oil price went up to this resistance cluster up here. Well, it couldn't really penetrate it. It wicked a little bit above it, but then retraced sharply afterwards. So it seems to me business as usual in oil as well. Just another bounce off this resistance level. And I would not be surprised if this bearish bounce will actually continue all the way towards the 69 or 70 area. Why? Because this is where the next support level is. And oil has been consistently, trading in between these key levels, as shown by our indicator here. All right. What about gold, GLD? All right, GLD, there we go. All right, what has happened in gold? So once this loads, and once again, you will see that actually it was quite predictable. Well, let's just focus on recent price action here. What do you see here? The gold price came up all the way to this resistance level. And then, no big surprise, it bounced off this level back to the downside. And now we're just trading below this level. But all these price moves, they are to some extent foreseeable. But of course, you must know where these levels are. And this is exactly the reason why this indicator, which shows me these levels, is on every single of my chart. It doesn't matter what chart it is. It could be an ETF, it could be a stock, it could be a futures on a day trading time frame. This is the only indicator which is always on my chart. And it's super helpful in showing me what's going on. And it even tells me, look at this setup box here, what the exact setup at play is. It says here, setup, short bounce. You can see it here written in this reddish box. Why short bounce? Well, because we are near a resistance level and we may bounce off to where? Well, to the short side, a short bounce. And if you wanted to play this setup, it even tells you where is my profit target, my stop loss, and my projected reward to risk ratio. So everything I need to know shown to me directly on the price chart. All right, two more symbols real quick. What about Apple? So Apple, has been correcting quite a bit recently. Yeah, it made all-time highs. You can see it here on December 26th, I guess right after Christmas sales coming in, very nice, all-time highs. But since then, it has been correcting. And guess where it has been correcting to? Well, look down here, this red area, that's the support level. Acting as support, and this is, of course, not drawn after the fact. This support level was drawn, and it's a bit hard to see on my screen, but do you see this little faint line here extending all the way till here? It's a bit hard to see. This is where this level was drawn on the chart. So way in advance, giving us a heads up notice. And once price went all the way down to the support level, this could have been a prime opportunity to enter into this long trade, expecting prices to bounce off this level towards the upside again. Very predictable. And one last thing, Meta. So Facebook, an interesting one. What is happening in Facebook? Well, let's have a quick look at our box here? Well, it says long break. What's long break? Well, at some point, this is true for most things in life, everything comes to an end. Yeah, in trading, that's the case as well. There is no resistance level which will last forever. There is no support level which will last forever. But when they are broken, new opportunities are opening up for us. And it's exactly what's happening here with Facebook. Facebook obviously had a huge move yesterday. It gapped down a lot and then completely recovered and closed in the positive for yesterday. And today this move continued and broke above this key resistance level. Now, why key? Because this resistance level, and I can see it here by this zone break icon, is the highest visible resistance level for Facebook. Or in other words, we have blue skies ahead to the upside. Nothing is stopping this move now to the upside. There are no other resistance level on top. So a very interesting setup here in Facebook as well. All right, so this was it for the market review from a global context. But now I think it's time to zoom in a little bit. And what I want to do real quick, just because I looked at this a little bit earlier today, I want to see what silver is doing on the 5-minute time frame, because I don't want to miss out a potential day trading opportunity here. Why do I say this? I'm going to get back to my slides in a second. Is because silver is approaching this resistance level on the 5-minute time frame. Do you see it here? And if it does, if it gets a bit closer, that's why I wanted to keep an eye on it, I will consider a short trade of silver right here and now on this webinar. So for this, I'm simply going to add an alert and TradingView alert when price crosses near this level here, let's say around 30.98. So if we get to this level, a nice short trade may be in the cards. So let's see what happens to that. But let's just zoom out a little bit. Let's do a little bit of theory. I'm sorry, this might be a bit dry, but it's important. All right, so this was the market review, but perhaps you have seen it already. We believe, and we've seen it time and time again, that every single chart, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a daily chart, it could be a 5-minute chart, it could be a tick chart, it could be a stocks chart, a futures chart, a crypto chart. Every single chart has what we call landmarks, these important zones on your price chart. And to which, when price approaches these landmarks, it will react to them in a certain way. And oftentimes we can predict how price will react when it approaches these landmarks, and we can find interesting trade setups in the process. So that's the overall idea. And why is this important? Well, to the naked eye, without knowing where these landmarks are, where these important zones are, charts can be quite unpredictable. Let's look at this one here. An uptrend may suddenly reverse into a downtrend and then reverse once again into an uptrend with seemingly no pattern at all visible. And this even gets worse when we are on the lower time frames. Things can be completely erratic. Let's see here on the 5-minute chart. It's chaos. It's mayhem with seemingly no predictable pattern whatsoever. But, and keep this in mind, please, things tend to become a little bit clearer once we zoom out, once we go to a higher time frame. This will become important for the remainder of this presentation. So please keep this in mind. Things tend to become a bit clearer once we zoom out to a bigger time frame. All right. Now, but back to our landmark idea. So how are these landmarks, these important zones on your chart established? Well, through multiple things. They can be, for example, be established by an historical high. You can see it here. This could become a landmark if certain things come together. Also, a series, for example, of swing lows or swing highs could establish a landmark on your chart. And the cool thing about these landmarks is that price in the future tends to revisit these levels. Like a magnet, these levels will draw price to them. You can see price went up towards this historical high and later on back to this series of swing lows on your chart. Now, price tend to be magnetically drawn to these levels. So please keep this in mind as well. Now, oftentimes, these landmarks are acting as support and resistance. We've all heard these terms before. Yeah. And what's really interesting, or to me at least, is that, hey, we as retail traders, we have no chance whatsoever of establishing these landmarks on your chart. We don't have the buying power for this. These support and resistance levels, these are created by big money traders, by the institutions, by the culprits who have the buying power to submit these big block orders to shake the markets in that way. But the good news is, guys, what we can do as retail traders, we can follow the shots. We can identify, hey, where are these key levels where institutions like to buy or sell? And then we can follow the patterns and place our trades accordingly. Basically swing in the wake of these big money traders. And this is exactly what we're striving for. Yeah? And internally in our trading room, we call these support and resistance levels also liquidity zones. And why do I say this? Well, because our indicator, the indicator which you have seen on this chart here, is called liquidity IQ. So in case you were wondering, where does this name come from? From this concept here. All right, so once we know where these zones are, we can find very interesting and promising trade setups in the process. For example, and we're going to go back to the charts in just a bit. For example, we can find bounce trade setups. A bounce trade happens when price retraces or comes near a support level. And if several things come together, we may bet on the fact that, hey, price may bounce off from this level towards the middle, in between the support level and this resistance level. That's the bounce trade. Another trade is the zone break trade. As mentioned before, nothing lasts forever. No support zone will last forever. But if broken, new opportunities are opening up for us. You can see it here that price oftentimes, once it breaks a level, there's a big follow through. It will continue moving in the direction of the breakout. As you can see it here, this can happen when a support level is broken or when a resistance level is broken to the upside. And another trade, which is super interesting, and this is something we are seeing over and over again, is our so-called breakout retrace trade. So this happens when, for example, resistance is broken to the upside. You can see it here. Resistance or price moves above this green line to the upside, but then it stops and corrects itself and it's retracing. But where is it retracing to? Well, look at this. Price comes back down towards this broken resistance level, which is now acting as support. It has switched roles. Resistance has become support. And after this initial fake out of the market, price will really then accelerate towards the upside in the direction of the original break. That's called the zone break retrace setup. Now, you may ask yourself the question, and perhaps you've seen it already, how can we possibly know about these levels on the chart? Well, we have developed an indicator designed to do exactly this, which will, when applied to your price chart, immediately identify these key levels. All right, so after this theory, let's once again go back to our charts. And in this case, we're going to focus on some day trading timeframes. Too bad. My silver approach here is not going any higher. It's already turning around right now. Let's still keep an eye on it. It may still come up within this webinar. We'll see. Okay, this was silver, but let's start from the beginning. Let's look at what is going on with let's say with the NQs, with the micro Nasdaq futures. And this is here a 5-minute chart of the micro Nasdaq futures. Let me just hide this here. All right, so what do we see here? All right, okay, of course, price action has been crazy. In the last couple of days, we had this huge zone break here. You can see it on the chart. We broke below support. And initially, price actually traded very nicely in between resistance and support. But eventually, when the market opened on Sunday night at 5 p.m. Eastern, a big zone break happened. And look at this follow through. This is probably the poster child of a zone break setup. We break a level and then we have a huge follow through. Yeah. All right. So this happened. But then price came back up and it established a new resistance level up here. It took a little while, but here at this moment in time, on Monday evening, we knew, or the indicator was showing us, hey, a new resistance level is forming. See this green line starting here. Look what happened since then. Price went towards this resistance level. And this is on the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, and then bounced back a little bit. So we had an initial bounce off this resistance level, but then price went up again. And in this case, resistance was no longer holding. And now it broke above this resistance level. All right, so that's what happened. And I was hoping for this webinar, of course, the market doesn't always do what I'm hoping for, is that we would see a retracement back to this level down here. And guess why I was hoping for this? Well, this would exactly be our zone break retrace setup, the initial fake out that the market does so many times before it really takes off to the upside. So it's still in the cards, even though we had this little uptick here. But I think if we come down perhaps towards this level, this could be an interesting long opportunity for the NQs as well. So I'm going to also set an alert exactly for this level here. So let's say for around 21.49. So why do I set these alerts? You may say, well, because as traders, we don't want to run to the danger of, getting chart tunnel vision, to focus too much on one particular chart and just keep obsessing about it. I want to look at the chart, see what the setup is, and then simply let TradingView or whatever trading platform you're using, let do the work for me and alert me, hey, when price comes to a zone which is of interest. And this is exactly why I'm using TradingView alerts here. The cool thing in TradingView is that it will also alert me even when I'm not on this browser tab anymore. Could even have closed down my computer completely. I will get a cell phone push notification whenever price comes to this price area for which I set my alert to. All right, so that's MNQ. Let's go through the list here. M2K, the Russell Micro Futures. What do we see here? And once again, this is a day trading time frame on the 5-minute chart. All right, so what do we have here? Look at this beauty. So price came down all the way to this resistance level. And it's a good idea to explain an important concept. Actually, two things. So first off, we broke below this level here. So price broke below this level and came initially down. Actually, it bounced off this lower support level. You can see the line start forming here and then came all the way back up here. Another instance of a zone break, retrace setup before this move continues. Zone break, the fake out is over, and then it continues. But where did it go to? Well, it tested this support level down here. And see what's written on the chart, because that's an important concept. Liquidity capture. So this is a very special event that can happen on the markets, where price is trading. You can see this shaded area around this candle here as well. So this liquidity capture event happens when price is nearing a support level, or perhaps nearing a resistance level, and the volume of the bar, which is nearing this level, is extraordinarily high. And this could mean that, hey, at this level, big block buy orders are stepping in, preventing price from further moving down, and instead price is reversing towards the upside. And exactly this is happening here, or this was happening here in the night hours of this morning. So price bounced off this level, came up, and now once again, we tested this level. Price came down again, and once again, we bounced off this level towards the upside. And also here I was hoping, hey, perhaps we will see price nearing this level once again, and perhaps we could enter into a long trade off this level once again. Basically a rinse and repeat of what has happened here. All right, so this is M2K, and let's one more example. I'm going to skip MES because that's very similar to what we see on NASDAQ in terms of levels. Let's go to the micro Dow, the MYMs. This one here, also on the 5-minute time frame. And guys, by the way, if you have questions, don't hold back. And Niklas, I hope you are looking out for questions as well, and bring them to my attention if you see some questions coming in. All right, so what do we have here? Remember, guys, what did I just say? Zone break, price initially goes up, fake out, we're bouncing off this broken resistance level, now acting as support, and then it continues. And now, once again, now we are back to this level. And in fact, this is an interesting opportunity. I wish I would have seen this earlier, that, hey, if price comes down here one more time to this level, this could be once again an interesting long opportunity entering into the long direction here in MicroDAO. So once again, I'm going to add an alert when price comes to this level here. So add alert on MYM at around this level. All right, perfect. Nicholas, are there any questions at this point?
Not yet, Daniel. You're clear to go.
Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit of water. A lot of talking today. All right, so let's continue our search here. Let's go to MCL and MGC just to see if we have some interesting setups here. All right, so MCL, micro crude. All right, let's see what's going on. So here we are, and the indicator tells us on this, we are on what's called a magnet zone. Okay, what's a magnet zone? Well, a magnet zone is basically a situation where price is more or less in no man's land. Meaning it's somewhat, smack down the middle, in between support, this reddish area, and resistance here. And for us as traders, this is a bit hard to trade because, I prefer it personally if price is near these levels, and I can either predict a bounce off these levels, or perhaps if a zone break happens, then enter in the direction of the breakout. But for oil in this particular case, this is not the case. We are right in the middle. And what would we do as traders? Well, we would wait until price eventually either goes to the upper end here or perhaps to the lower end. So we have a more clear trade setup. And one last example, MGC. What's going on here? So gold is really recovering. Let me just zoom out a little bit. What is happening here in gold? Yeah, we are also in a magnet zone. Once again, we are somewhat, it's not an exact science, in the middle between this support zone down here and this resistance zone all the way on top. So there's still ways to go. No concrete trade setup here happening on gold. All right. So, but what perhaps is an interesting concept right now? Remember when I said that things tend to become a bit clearer once we go to the higher time frames? Well, it is true. And we have thought about this phenomena a lot. This is why there is a feature built into this liquidity IQ indicator, which will allow you to set what we call the reference time frame. So in this particular case, I set my reference time frame to be the 50-minute time frame. That means that the indicator will pretend to be on this time frame, even though we are on the 5-minute time frame here on the chart. The indicator will pretend to be on the 50-minute time frame and does its calculations based on that reference time frame. Guess what happens if I change this? Let's say I change this back to maybe the 5-minute time frame. Look what happens to our levels. So this is recalculating just for a second. Yeah, but once done, see, the levels are completely different now. This resistance level up here is no longer here anymore. The levels have changed. Why? Because they're now based on the 5-minute time frame, the chart time frame. And look what happens if I zoom further out. Maybe tell the indicator, hey, pretend to be on the, let's say, the hourly time frame. So once again, I change it. It's calculating. It's actually taking a couple of seconds because the calculation to find these levels is quite complex. And now the levels have updated once again. So why is this important? Well, because it eliminates the need for US traders to have multiple charts open. Yeah, you can simply tell the indicator, hey, get me my levels from the time frame that I wanted to calculate on while I stay on my day trading on my smaller time frame. All right, so let me quickly go back to what it was, the 50-minute, because this is typically what we use. And I'm going to go back one more time to our silver trade here, because that was the one that sparked my attention a bit earlier. I really wish price would come up to this level so that we could potentially enter into a short trade. All right, no such luck in this presentation, but before we do this, just 1 second, I'm going to just change the color here real quick. There we go. I'm just going to let this indicator recalculate just to see where we are in terms of levels right here. So here we are trading near this resistance level. But I want price to come a bit closer to it. I don't want to chase it. I always like price to come to me. than the opposite. So here we're going to wait a little bit until price hopefully comes closer. And if it does, we may consider a nice short trade, just like what happened here when price reached this level previously. All right. So, all right. So let me explain to you now for a couple of minutes how you guys could take advantage of this indicator. And let me go back to my charts real quick. And of course, we're gonna, to my slides real quick, because we're gonna keep an eye on our charts as well. So the indicator that you have just seen is called our liquidity IQ indicator. And what it really is, it's an instant charting assistant, which will draw instantaneously as soon as it is applied to the chart, these key levels onto your price chart. It basically sets the big picture. It gives you all the context that you need to contextualize and to qualify your trading decisions in many different ways. You can use it to time your entries. Perhaps you would bet on a bounce setup. But likewise, you can also use these levels to time your exits. And, getting out of a trade once you're in it is just as important as simply entering into a trade. So both things are extremely important in your trading. And this indicator is called liquidity IQ. Now, what I didn't talk about yet is a complementary indicator, which works as the dynamic duo to liquidity IQ. This one is called MA Rush. Let me quickly explain to you guys what this indicator does. So back to the chart, and I'm gonna go, while looking at this silver trade, here's the price are going up a little bit, so maybe there's some hope left, but let me go back to my MNQ symbol. Also here we did have, too bad, a nice price level, and let me just simply enable only the MA Rush indicator, this one here. So what this indicator specializes in is to identify strong swings in the markets. It's designed to be as conservative as possible. And the way it works, and we have some traders who exclusively trade after these labels, it will give you alternating labels from bullish trends to bearish trends. So bullish goes to bearish, switches back to bullish, then bearish, and so forth. And we have some traders who only follow these labels. And if you catch a great trend, just like this bearish trend here, of course, that's exceptionally great. But this was, interestingly caught on Friday before this big gap down. So even on Friday, there was some bearish action. Momentum has shifted from bullish to bearish. And look at this huge follow through that we had. And now, momentum recently has switched back to bullish. Now we're trading above this level here. And if price comes down to this broken resistance level, this could be a great long entry opportunity, especially since MA Rush is also bullish. So here we're looking for a bounce towards the upside. Well, this is also confirmed by this bullish reading here. So two things are coming together. It's what we call confluence in trading. So this indicator, gives you these labels on your chart, and you can use them to either, pinpoint your own trades or perhaps to filter your trade ideas. Yeah, let's say you are interested in perhaps going short here, and perhaps the zone will break, but MA Rush is still bullish. That's a conflicting reading, where both indicators would not agree, and perhaps you rather stay on the sidelines when this happens. All right. Okay, so this is what the MA Rush indicator does. But now let me explain to you. And basically, this MA Rush indicator draws these bearish and bullish labels directly on your chart, showing you in which direction, bullish or bearish, the momentum currently is pointing to. And as mentioned, it's really a great complement to what liquidity IQ is drawing on your chart, these key levels. If you compound those with these momentum readings, you can really find very interesting trade ideas. Okay, so before we go back to the chart, let me quickly explain to you how you guys can take advantage of these indicators. Well, first off, they exist for all major trading platforms. Of course, we've seen them with TradingView, but they also exist with, let's say, Thinkorswim, ModifWave, NT8, MT4, and MT5, MetaTrader 4 and MT5. So for all these platforms, these two indicators are available. And we have put a special offer together for you guys as a big thank you. I was going to put it out there a bit earlier today. because I want to focus on the charts later on. So this is the special offer which we have put together. We call this the Liquidity IQ Super Package. It consists of a whole bunch of things. And of course, primarily of our Liquidity IQ indicator, the indicator and the only indicator which is always on our price chart, no matter what. Okay, so normally this indicator alone retails for $1,297. Today, you will be able to get it at a much better price. In addition to this indicator, you will also get 6 bonus offers. And bonus offer number 1 is, of course, our MA Rush indicator, the one that shows you these bullish and bearish labels on your chart. Bonus offer number 2, and to me, perhaps the most important one, is you will get, or you will be invited to our next live trading workshop, which is scheduled for next Thursday at 9:30 a.m. So in 2 days from now at 9:30 a.m. And why is this important? Because we always like to put our money where our mouth is. And in this workshop, we will show you how we set up our charts using these 2 indicators and how we identify interesting day trading opportunities and live trade them with our real money account. So similar what we're trying to do in this little webinar, but we're going to take much more time for this. We're going to spend a good 2 hours to find these trade ideas, and for sure, or rest assured, we're definitely going to live trade. So we're going to execute some trades in this session. Bonus number 3 is an invitation to our exclusive weekly member sessions. Which is great training, because in those sessions, we're going to show you tips and tricks. We're going to analyze the market. You can ask questions. We are going to answer. So we're going to throw this in for live, even though this is normally offered as at a yearly subscription. You will get access to these member sessions for live. And bonuses 4 to 6 are some ebooks and video guides on how to get started with both indicators. And if you want to take advantage of, I believe, this great package, you can do it today for only $997. You get this entire package, and the link to take advantage of this is this one here, TradingIndicators.com/IQ, and this is available for a limited time. So TradingIndicators.com/IQ. And David or Niklas, please put this link also into the chat box or Q&A box of your Zoom window. All right, now let's go back to the charts. We're going to come back to this offer just a bit later, but let me quickly see if there's something interesting happening here. So NQ, unfortunately, is going further away from our level. Trading is a game of patience. So you have to sometimes just wait for the right setup to come up. And most importantly, wait for price to come to you, not vice versa. And quick look at silver. What's going on here? I thought we're going to get up here. So also a waiting game here. Okay, let me cheat a little bit. How can we find an interesting trade setup for right now? Well, there actually is a cheat code for this. Let me drag in another window here. Just 1 second. This is our Discord channel. Don't switch, it's fine. Okay, why is this a cheat code? Well, in this Discord channel, of course, we do have our trading talk here where we're posting charts and trades all day long. You can see all these stuff here. But in addition to all this, we also have our trade alerts, which is basically a market scanner across many different symbols, and which alerts us if something of interest is coming up right now. So let me quickly see if something came up for our 5-minute chart. So I'm going to click here on the 5-minute chart alerts, this one here, and let me see what our scanner has picked up. I didn't check it before. Okay, what do we have? Okay, we do have a short bounce setup on JP Morgan on the 5-minute time frame. That's one. Okay, let me see if there's something else. And this one is a bit older. Okay, let's check it out. JP Morgan on the 5-minute time frame. So a bit of a cheat code here, but this is very convenient because I cannot constantly go through all these symbols and check them. It's much better if we are alerted of these setups. So let me go back to my chart here. Let's open up JP Morgan. So JPM, there we go. JP Morgan Chase on the 5-minute time frame. This is a good test of whether our alerts are working as they should. Let's see what's happening here. Okay. I don't see a short bounce setup. I think it's because price, actually we did have a couple of nice bounces here, actually beautiful bounces off this resistance level. But price is now a bit too far away. I think what happened here was that we were alerted when price went to this level across 266 perhaps, where we were close enough to be near this resistance level, but then we retraced a little bit already. So also here, unfortunately, we would need to wait until price comes up perhaps to this level. I'm gonna set an alert for this one too. And then, just like here, and especially if this is combined with a liquidity capture event, we may see an interesting bearish bounce from this key resistance level up top here. All right. Okay, so let me see if there are any questions. Nicholas, do we have some symbol requests?
Yeah, Daniel, we had a symbol request, but if you can go back to the Discord there, that alert above the JP Morgan one, the RTY, it was the Russell. I think that's a good example to look at, even though it came in at 2 p.m. Just see what happened right after it.
Sorry. Let's see what this setup is all about. Thanks, Nicholas. This is a setup for the 5-minute chart. All right, reference time frame set to the 50-minute time frame, and it's a long bounce setup. So here, if I read this correctly, price is trading near a support level and may bounce to the upside. All right, let's check this out.
And this came in at 2 p.m., so this was 40 minutes ago.
All right, so this was on the RTY. Let's go here. The E-mini Russell. And yeah, this came in 40 minutes ago. Oh, this would have been a beautiful setup. Why didn't I see this before? I guess yeah, so this came in yeah, around this level here. And did I set this time frame correctly? Just 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, this price neared this support level and we saw a beautiful bounce off this level. But unfortunately, right now, of course, a little bit too far away already. But you can see if you pay attention to these alerts, even define some notifications. Say, I'd like to get a push notification or something if a new message comes in. This can be very interesting trade ideas. For example, here for the RTY, the E-mini Russell, look at these beautiful bounces off this support level to the upside. And US traders, of course, once price gets to these levels, we could anticipate these bounces and then trade accordingly. In this case, would be a nice long setup. All right, perfect. Okay. So we're gonna keep an eye on this. This unfortunately is also now in somewhat of a no man's land zone. And as mentioned before, trading is a game of patience. You want price to come to you, not vice versa. And what would be the opposite of price coming to you? It would be chasing a trend. You don't want to do this for 2 reasons. First of all, typically you get a bad price when you chase a trend because you're a bit late to the game. But psychologically speaking, this also makes a big difference. Why? Because you always feel in your head, hey, oh man, I prematurely pulled the trigger. I didn't get the entry price that I wanted. And perhaps this gives you a bad feeling throughout the trade and may result in some not ideal trading decisions to exit your trade. Because you already had a fairly bad entry, then chances are you perhaps force your exit or you hold on to a trade too long in the hope that perhaps the bad entry price will eventually still result into a winner. So I always liked, for me, I like price to come to me to the level that I want, and then I execute the trade. And that's exactly why I have defined, unfortunately, these alerts here for price to come to me. It may not happen. That's the downside. We see it here, where price actually now trades away from this level. Let me just quickly see on silver real quick.
And Daniel, also after that, we have a question. Does it work on Forex? And can I see a Forex 15-minute chart? Maybe we could look at USD CAD.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so of course, yes, the answer is of course it works on Forex. And here I just need to quickly disable my interactive brokers search because there I believe, oh, actually we do have it here. Okay, so Euro, USD, and actually I'm just gonna do this, yeah, on let's say forex.com. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so the 50-minute chart. Okay, let's check it out. This is Euro USD. This is the 5-minute chart, but I just want to quickly see what we are seeing here in terms of levels. Oh, this is interesting. So yeah, it works nicely on FX charts. And look what happened right here. Once this loads, we broke below the support level. See, price powered through it. This was a Monday evening below. But what happened then? Look at this. Coming back up, back to this broken support level, which is now acting as resistance. And then the bearish move continues. Zone break, retrace, setup. Now we are trading below this support level. You can see it here. And the indicator identifies this setup as the short break setup. Why short break? Well, because we are below our broken support level here on a break run to the short side. All right, perfect.
Cool. And Daniel, we also had a question. I think it was the same breadth. If it works on Forex, can it work on cryptos? Is there anything it doesn't work on?
Oh, there's nothing it doesn't work on. It works with any chart that has a price action. So whenever you have price action, these levels will work. Look how beautiful. We had this bounce here of resistance, big follow through, zone break, retrace, follow through. These patterns, they are predictable to some degree, especially when combined with our MA rush indicator. And as mentioned in the very beginning, this indicator has turned our trading around, because having knowledge of these key levels is absolutely key to further qualify your trading decision. And this has been my secret weapon, not only for day trading. We use it a lot for day trading almost every day in our trading room and in our Discord room, but also for longer term trades and swing trades. All right. Talking about our Discord room, let me quickly explain to you guys what is included in this bundle offer. Because of course, you get the indicator, the liquidity IQ indicator. Of course, that's the core ingredient in this bundle here at TradingIndicators.com/IQ. But in addition to this, you will also get our MA rush indicator, which draws these bearish and bullish labels on your chart. And as I mentioned, we have some traders who exclusively trade after these labels. They can be quite telling, and sometimes they will catch these amazing runs, which you can then just ride until a signal in the opposite direction comes along. Item number 3 is an invitation to our live trading workshop this Thursday, and only 2 days from now at 9:30 a.m. So this is a double here at 9:30 a.m. in the morning. Of course, this workshop is recorded, so should you not be able to attend, you can always watch the recording afterwards. And why do I think this is so important? Well, this is really where the rubber hits the road. We will use our live account, our interactive brokers account, to live trade the market for at least 2 hours on Thursday. I'm going to share with you how we set up our charts, our alerts, and all these things that you need to know to follow suit. Then we also have our exclusive live trading sessions, which happen every Tuesday. We just finished our session from today, which started at 12 p.m. all the way till 1:30 p.m. And in these live sessions, you can ask questions. We're going to show you tips and tricks, and we're going to review the market from a swing trading, but also from a day trading perspective. And this is really what I wanted to say. You will also be invited to our Discord channel. So why is this a good thing to have? Well, then you can see exactly what I've shown you here. Our automated trade notifications or setup notifications on various timeframes, which alert us whenever something of interest pops up. And we had quite a few alerts today, which were very actionable early on today. The market's a bit calm right now. Yeah, you get these on all different timeframes. You will also get our commentary, our post that we are posting, our charts that we find interesting. We have members posting charts. We are sharing trade ideas and bouncing off ideas. So this is a great place to be. It's great education, and this I think in combination to the live trading workshop can really make a difference. So you can see all the different posts that have been published in our Discord channel, where we simply bounce off ideas throughout. All right, so this is also included in our offer. And of course, we do have some ebooks and e-guides and other supplementary information to get you started on the right foot with this package. And as mentioned, for a limited time, available for only $9.97. And this is for life. And there's no subscription needed. This is a one-time payment, and you never have to pay a single cent again for this package. So available here at tradingindicators.com/IQ. All right. So let me go back to my charts to see if perhaps still something of interest is popping up. So let me go back to silver. I still have hopes for silver. Oh, look at this, guys. Look at this, guys. It's coming closer. It's inching closer. What time is it? We have 8 minutes left in this session. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this. If we see price action move towards this level here, towards the lower end of this resistance level, this could be an interesting bounce trade. I can see it here that if you look at MA Rush, we have still bearish momentum. I can see that it's bearish. Price is bearish. This is a correction within a bearish move. And if we hit this resistance level, yeah, I think we're going to pull the trigger, at least in our trading room, to go short this trade to the downside to hopefully, close out this trading day with a nice profit. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on this. I will not force it right now. I always want price to come to me, even though this would not be the worst entry level, but, being disciplined as a trader is so important. And I want to, don't go against my own internal rules. We're going to wait until price gets to this level. I believe it will. And then a short is definitely in the books here. All right. Nicholas, are there any symbol requests or any questions so far?
Did we end up looking at a crypto, Daniel, after we mentioned it, or after
Oh,
it
that's
was
a good
mentioned?
point. Yeah, let's look at MBT. These are the crypto futures on the CME. We can also look at some spot crypto trading. So here we see MBT on the 5-minute. We can see a couple of nice bounces off this resistance cluster here. Once here again. Then we broke below support. It came back up, another move further down, and now we're trading somewhat in between support and resistance here on the 5-minute chart on Bitcoin. Similar, I believe, for Ethereum. We're also tracking this symbol in our alerts on Discord. Let's see what's going on here. So in Ethereum, this was an interesting one too. Look what happened. Somewhat similar of what I was looking for in silver. Yeah, we have bearish momentum. Price came up, not all the way. This may happen towards this resistance level, but with bearish momentum, then price bounced off this level. It didn't come all the way up to the downside again. Us trading in between this resistance level here and support down here.
Daniel.
Yeah.
We have a request here from Marcia to look at Palantir, and maybe at the same time we could switch back the color theme so they match up, and it looks a little nicer.
I like it like this as well, but yeah, okay. Of course, all colors can be customized. Let me just go back to the original color theme here. And any time frame mentioned for Palantir?
No, Marcia, if you want to specify.
All right, let's just go in there from a swing trading perspective. So that's all PLTR, Palantir. All right. What are we seeing here? So this is from a swing trading point of view. Oh, interesting. So here, what do we see here? So you can see price broke, and this was back in August, of course, 2024, broke above its resistance level at the time. And look at this beautiful follow through that we had after these zone breaks happened. All right, so we made all-time highs, I believe, then here in December, but then price retraced, and now it's going back up. And look where it went up to, exactly to this resistance level here. And we saw a bounce to the lower side. Now it's pushing once again into this resistance level. And we have a short bounce situation here. Now, would I actually go short right now? Probably not. And here's the reason. Well, we are super, super bullish. Let me just put MA Rush on here. So MA Rush is showing us here, since May 2023, is this stock, this symbol, in a bullish trend. It's super bullish. It almost went parabolic here. I don't really want to go against such a strong bullish move. So I'm going to stay on the sidelines, at least for going short. But should we break above this resistance level, similar to Meta, Facebook, we may see further upside action after this resistance is cleared. For now, I would stay on the sidelines. We may see a bit of a bounce, but since this trend is so bullish, I don't want to go against that. I would wait until we perhaps get to like the 88 area here, and then once we have cleared resistance, enter into this bullish move. Very similar to Meta. Let me just go back to this one more time. You can see it here. Meta now cleared its resistance level, and you can see this nice follow through already starting here. Yeah, after this zone break has happened to the upside. So here we have now blue skies ahead. There's no other resistance level above current price, which could possibly, at least right now, prevent price from going higher, at least from a technical point of view.
Daniel, before we wrap up, can you check out this one too? Apple on the 1 hour.
Apple on the 1 hour. All right, let me just go here. This is the daily, of course. We already looked at this one. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. And let me also reconfigure our reference time frame real quick after I see what's going on here. Okay, so Apple on the 1 hour, and very similar. Look at this one here. We had a bearish MA rush signal. And this is exactly what I'm telling you guys. Sometimes just trading according to these signals is all you need to do. Bearish move, huge bullish move, bearish here, huge follow through. We bounced off support beautifully at this level here. And now we went all the way up towards this resistance level and actually cleared it. So this was an intermediate resistance level. Price cleared this level. You can see it here. And now what we may see in Apple is actually another push higher towards the all-time highs here, which were established back in December 26 last year. Yeah, definitely an interesting setup. Okay, so we have 3 more minutes. I need to go back one more time to our silver trade because that's a personal interest to me. Where are we here? Oh, my goodness. So guys, stay tuned. If you guys want to come on board, you can follow along with me here in our Discord room. What will happen to this short silver trade if we hit this price level? This could be a very interesting one to consider. Why? Because you would go short around this level, perhaps scale in and put your stop simply above this level. So if it doesn't hold, we will know very soon, like shortly above. But if it works out, if we actually see the bounce, we may see a huge follow through with a great reward to risk ratio. So the indicator tells us even here, hey, if we were to execute this trade, just one last feature, David, and then I'm going to wrap it up. We could even tell the indicator, hey, show me my stop loss and my target. Just enable this feature, just didn't enable to keep my chart clean, but the indicator will then tell me right on the chart, hey, put your stop right here, right above this resistance level at 39,075, and put your target all the way down here, just above this support zone. And if this would work out, if you were going short right now at current price level, this would give us a reward to risk ratio of 5.19. So one more reason why this indicator is on every single of our chart, because it does most of the calculations, the stuff that's tedious for us. All right, guys, so this wraps it up. This is the package we have to offer, TradingIndicators.com/IQ. Think about it. It's a limited time offer. And as mentioned, we use this indicator all the time in our own trading. And if there was a question which we didn't answer today, my apologies. It's not so easy to talk to the chart, analyze the markets, and look after all the questions. But if there was a question which was not answered, you can always reach out to us at TradingIndicators.com. This is our homepage. Go to the main menu. There's a contact item in there. Click on it, enter your question into the contact form, submit it, and it will go straight to my inbox or Niklas's inbox and make sure to get back to all your questions that you may have. All right, guys. That's it from my end. David, do you have any thing to say before I wrap up? David is gone. David?
Oh,
Ah,
yeah,
there he
here.
is.
That's on
Hi.
Amoeba. Oh, yeah, great presentation. So yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks, David. Thanks for putting this event